Hello, and welcome back to Her Lie I Tried to Believe, read by me, Brad Fitzpatrick. Hopefully you've enjoyed the two chapters I've done so far, and hopefully going forward we might be able to go ahead and finish this up. Oh, we will find out. So then, let's begin. After the ride, she told me she wanted to change hotel rooms. I didn't understand why. Our current one was already more than enough for the little we actually used it for. But again, she pestered me, saying things like, I want something more cozy, and it's worth the money I've won, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? I didn't really care either way. The only thing that was a bit of a letdown was the fact that we've already paid for our old hotel room for another 2 nights, so it was kind of a waste. And since we didn't have an infinite amount of money, we would sooner or later be confronted with the fact that we're not beyond the law of society. While driving around for a while, she finally said, There! Let's go there! I parked in front of the thing reluctantly and stated the obvious. What the fuck do you mean, there? It's a fucking motel. Our old place is way better than this shithole. But I would feel much more comfortable in this one. Are you for real? The type of cheap-ass motel you often see on TV, where you park right in front of your room. A nest of prostitutes, that's what this place is. There probably isn't even one security camera installed here, else there would be a lot fewer clients using the damn place. It's not the type of place you would normally call cozy, but then again, I'm supposed to be with a prostitute right now. Aren't I? I'll go take care of the room. Wait right here. She says so while getting out of the car. No, I'll come with you. No, that's all right. I want to do this on my own. Do this on her own? What is she babbling about? Is she trying to be more independent or something? Doesn't she realize that she's already 21? I decided to close my mouth and wait. Nothing good would come from arguing with her. She returned after 5 minutes, and we entered our new room. It was pretty plain, like I imagined it would be. I put down the little we brought with us on the floor, and she instantly says, Let's go to the bar or something. It's on me. But we've literally just arrived. But I want to drink, and I know you want to too. Let's have some fun, like yesterday. Sure. Let's have fun every day from now on. I wanted to say these words. I wonder why I forced myself not to tell them. I wonder why I always forced myself to do things a certain way. Aha! Next chapter. 11! The best day of her life was the day she met me. We drank. And later that night, we danced. We went to the club this time around. I was not a good dancer at all. Very awkward indeed. But she didn't care. She smiled nonetheless. We should always smile no matter what. And it was a beautiful night. A beautiful night. Something I would rarely even notice before then. This week was the best days of my entire life, she pointed out while moving closer to me. We were on the dance floor, but didn't move with the crowd. We were standing there, looking at each other, moving slowly while eating each other's eyes. Her eyes were things out of this world. This does look like the place where you would say these kinds of things. I looked around. There were a lot of beautiful colors flashing. The music was moving us without our consent, and the ambiance gave the impression that we're on top of the world. It was a beautiful night indeed. I'm not talking about this place, she said without blinking. Nor am I talking about this city. I'm talking about you. Only you. Do you believe me? Yeah, I do. How could I not with those eyes of hers? Good. She kissed me deeply for a long, long time. She then muttered out something I had a hard time understanding because of the music. But you shouldn't. What did you say? She touched my lower abdomen. Nothing. She hugged me for the most part of the night. I was happy there was no accident tonight. No shouting, no pushing. I was glad. How stupid I was, not understanding that the night is yet to be over. We were so drunk. We had no other choice but to finish the night at our old hotel room. It was conveniently a lot closer to the club we were at than the atrocious motel room she rented earlier today. It was when she was taking a shower I noticed something on the ground, a business card or something. I unconsciously took it roughly into my hands and studied it. It was a man's, and on the back it was written, "Call me." Already, I was pissed. I didn't know why. She got out of the shower and dressed up. I then instantly confronted her. "What the fuck is this?" She glanced at the piece of paper with no reaction. "I don't know. What is it?" "Don't fuck with me. It's written 'Call me' on the back. Who is he?" "I have no idea." "Henry." I read the name on the card. I noticed a slight reaction on her part. "So, you know him?" "Well," she starts off. "There was a man who tried to talk to me while you were buying us a drink. He told me his name was Henry, but I didn't want to talk to him, even less take his card. Always conveniently while I'm away." "Then what is this then?" I throw the card at her. I don't know. He must have put it inside my coat pocket or something. You know I wouldn't do that, babe." I start walking toward the exit. "Tim? Where are you going? Tim?" "None of your business." "No, wait. Tim, you're not thinking of finding that guy, are you?" "And what if I am?" She instantly tries to get in between me and the door. Seeing that she can't pass in front of me, she quickly decides to hug me tightly from behind instead. "Get away from me!" "No, don't leave me like this. This was supposed to be a night for the both of us." "Don't you understand? They're all making fun of you. I can't let..." "I don't care. Let's drink. Let's have sex. Let's have some fun together. That's the only thing that matters to me. Don't you understand that tonight is very important to me?" Is she trying to control me? Is she? Isn't she? Trying to make me feel as though I'm so important to her? Then, all of a sudden, a thought crossed my mind. There was no logic behind it. The booze must have been adding, yet I was so compelled to think it true. "Is that why?" I asked her as though she knew what I was referring to. "Why what?" "Is that why you rented that other hotel room at the hotel? To meet with some other men? That's why you pushed me to drink past my limit all night? Huh?" "What? No, there's no way I would do such a thing. You keep telling me this, but is that even true? You're a prostitute after all, aren't you? I don't even know you." "I don't know her. I thought I did, but there's no way such a girl would love a loser such as myself." The moment those words leave my mouth, I see it in her eyes. I see that I've hurt her more than I ever did. Still, her hold on me never weakened, even then. It irritates me to such an extent. I said, "Get off of me!" She refuses still, so I shake her off aggressively. The result? She hits her head on the right wall next to us and falls to the ground pitiably. I froze stiff. I didn't mean to hurt her. I instantly look back at her to make sure she's okay. "Are you alright?" I need to help her. Those were my thoughts until... I'm fine, thanks." She flashes me a bright smile, even though she looks quite in pain. I have no right to help her. I try again to direct myself to the door, but she gets a hold of my leg in return. "Please, don't go." I try to walk nonetheless, but she puts everything into it. The thought of shaking her off almost became a reality, but then I remembered what I just did. So instead, I just dropped down on the floor and sat right next to her, defeated. She lies her head down on me as if nothing had ever happened. Yet, I still felt anger. What a kid I am. Later on, I drank the bottle of champagne all by myself and passed out in front of the door, thinking of blocking her way if she ever thought of trying to leave. Chapter 12. Something to realize sooner. The next day, I felt disgusted with myself. Not because I was hungover or anything of the sort. No. The moment my eyes opened, I knew. I knew I did something wrong. I didn't remember all that much. Probably the effect of the alcohol, but I knew, nonetheless. Why was I acting so childishly? Even if she did want to see other men, who was I to try to stop her? I knew all along, right? She's a prostitute. She's been sleeping with men before me, and will after me. Yet I am always so... Jealousy is a byproduct of love, or so they say. I should apologize. If I apologize and explain myself, then maybe I can salvage a bit of this relationship we have together. It was only when I laid my eye upon her that I understood. Understood that I went too far. She was doing something for breakfast. She wasn't the type of cook, so what she was doing is pretty straightforward. But when she turned around to ask me if I wanted eggs with my toast, that's what I noticed. Was I the one who did this to you? She unconsciously touched her forehead by my words and looked down at her feet right after. No, baby, that wasn't you. I remember having pushed her yesterday, but it really that strongly? On her forehead there was this nasty black mark. On the side of her lips there was a bruise too, and I also noticed that she had difficulty walking, even though she was trying so hard to hide it. Then I remembered those voices inside of me, pushing me, almost pleading with me to destroy her. I went too far. Now I realize it. All of this. We can't go on like this anymore. If we continue even for a night longer, I might really kill her. Even though I brought her here to protect her from them, I now realized that I was the one she should have been protected from. I needed to end this. Maybe if I act quickly enough, maybe if it isn't too late. Where's your phone? My phone? Why would you need my phone? I need your phone. Now. I don't have it with me. It must be with the things we brought to the motel. Then I need to go find it. Wait, we can do that, right? No. Right now. I might not have the courage later. I reach for my keys, but she embraces me tightly before I did. This actually surprises me enough to lose my balance and fall on the bed. She falls on top of me. She proceeds to kiss every inch of my face without end, every time saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I need to go. Yet she didn't budge. I love you, I love you, I love you. I decided that this situation would lead us nowhere. I can't show affection. Not now of all times. Not wanting to hurt her any further than I already did, I got up to my feet while lifting her and keeping her close in my arm. It's like a piggyback, but in reverse. She has her face in my chest. I can feel my shirt getting wet from her tears. I have her ass in my hands to support her, and I'm actually kind of happy with this situation, since I very much like her ass. I walked her all the way to the car in this position, not minding the breakfast she did for the both of us. She didn't want to let go of me, but everything has an end, doesn't it? The ride to the motel was a silent one. She was looking at the sky, completely devoid of expression. What is happening to her? Is there something she doesn't want me to see at the motel? Not that I mind, really. She has every right. I can no longer try to control her. I can no longer. We got out of the car, and surprisingly she led the way. She unlocked the door and opened it for me. As soon as we entered, I directed myself to our bags. I took both our phones and walked back to her. Sorry, I need to do something alone. Wait for me here, will you? She didn't answer. She looked at me with those eyes. Those eyes that I almost forgot about. Her darkness met mine. I tried to ignore her and pass by her, but she didn't let me. Move. Say, do you love me? She finally asked it. She never did before, but now she did. I don't have time for this. Answer me. Do you love me? I said, move. I lifted my hand at her mechanically, and she didn't cower. She didn't blink. She didn't fear me at all. It didn't work. Well, sure it didn't. It didn't because I would never hit her. Do you love me? I don't have a choice, do I? Yes, I do. A dark smile. Enough to throw your life away from me? Yes. I say so with complete certainty. I see. Her smile disappears. I try to move again, but she blurts out something unexpected the moment I do so. Let's go back to the other hotel room. Let's me have one last night. Then you can do whatever you want. Sorry, but I can't. What I'm about to do is because I love you, Cassandra. She bites her lips hard before returning her eyes to me. She tried to smile but couldn't, which created this expression in between happiness and complete despair. You said it. You finally said it. My full name. Didn't I ever call her by her full name before? I try to say something, anything, but she shakes her head from left to right. She opens the door behind her to let me out. I walk past her, coldly. If only she knew how much I love her, how much I would kill for it. And that's exactly why I must do this. Before leaving her sight, she says something to me. Tim, could you go buy me some tampon while you're out? What? I looked back at her. She's regained her smile as though all of this was just an act. Please? I kinda need it, you know. Can't be helped, I guess. I pass my hand inside of her hair before waving it by at her. She doesn't follow suit. She simply looks at me until I turn the corner. What is she? And I missed that chapter because I was responding to a text from work. Sorry about that. Small water break. At first, I thought of taking the car, but soon decided otherwise. Walking would help me cool off a bit, or at least that's what they always say. I bought her what she asked of me, though I'm not sure which ones I should have chosen. Then I looked for a payphone. I didn't want to call directly from her phone, or even mine. If things end up badly, at least she'll still have some options left. Giving us away too easily would be a bad decision on my part. But man, it's harder than I thought to find a payphone in this day and age. I still found one in the end, but it took 10 minutes longer than I first anticipated. I searched her phone. If I remember correctly, her name should be Fanny. Ah, there it is. Fanny, her roommate. She should know the number of her boss, or maybe, if we're even luckier, she wouldn't have told him yet. I know there's no possible ways that we can return home soon enough for her next shift tomorrow, but if I can explain things, then maybe. I just need to say to her boss that I'll shoulder her debts in the end. Even though we tried to escape, the only thing this man really wants is money. I just need to know how much. Hello. After 3 rings, she answered. Hi. Is this Fanny? Cassandra's roommate? Yes, it's me. Who's speaking? Huh? Oh, I'm John. One of her clients. Her client? Didn't know she was selling things. No, well, you know. Would you mind giving me the number of her boss? There's something really important I need to talk to him about. Her boss? Who's that? Sorry, but she's not here right now. She told me she was going on a trip to Vegas, and alone on top of it. She could at least invite me. Anyway, you would have a better chance of calling her phone. Bye! Wait a minute. She told you she was going on a trip? Alone? When? When? I don't know. She sent me a mail Friday night saying she was going somewhere. Another one that day after or something like that. I'm not so sure. Friday night. It was the night I took her with me impulsively. To think she had a chance to send a mail. Not that it is impossible. Anyway, if you don't have anything else to ask, I have other things to do, so... Wait, I need to know one last thing. Because the way she talked about it almost seems as if... Chapter 14. Her lie I tried to believe. I don't know why or when, but I decided to run. I ran frantically to that motel room. I had this ominous feeling. Why did she lie to me? And how? Her roommate. To my question, she answered me this. What the fuck? Prostitute? Is this kind of sick joke or something? Sorry, I don't know who you are, but Cass isn't that type of woman, okay? And you won't make me think otherwise. Now, if you'll excuse me. Cassandra isn't a prostitute? But that can't be. I've seen her work. She never denied it. Why would she try to make me believe so? I need to speak with her. But how can I even confront her? And why did she lie to me? I feel anger well up inside of me. I know. I'll ignore her until she can't take it anymore. And when she does, I'll force her to tell me everything. The best way to make her suffer without hurting her. She's so dependent upon me. She won't be able to bear it for long. Soon enough, she will tell me everything, and then she'll ask me to forgive her. With this way, she always asks me everything. Those eyes, that smile, her lips, her everything. I'll accept, of course. She will feel indebted to me. That's when I'll ask her. That's when I'll ask her to... Why did I try to separate us? I don't understand anything anymore. Why did she lie to me? Why am I this way? Why am I so scared? At last, I'm in the front of the door. I'm about to open it when I notice something strange. A bag. A plastic bag is enveloping the door's handle. I almost rip it off, but stop midway. Maybe there's a reason why it's here. Also, I have no time dealing with something so annoying. I open the door with the bag still on the handle. I look down. I need to ignore her. I need to ignore her. I walk extremely slowly until the middle of the room. For some reason, I start trembling. That's when something on the table takes up my attention. I reflexively fixate on it. What? It seems it started raining. There must have been holes in the shitty ceiling since it started leaking on the table of all places. I'm sorry. I almost hear her, but I don't want to hear her. This is fake. I lied to you. A noise, an annoying noise, as if someone slowly opening and closed a badly oiled door over and over again. But I do love you. I see her move from the corner of my eyes, but I don't want to see it. I must ignore her. I loved that boy who, in 3rd grade, had difficulty running as fast as the other. I loved the courageous little boy who, in front of the whole class, declared he would one day run faster than any one of them. I wanted to encourage that boy, but it seems the means I used to encourage him rubbed him the wrong way. Soon, he became cold to my words, and even to my stares. I realized that the only way to be accepted by that boy was to look at him in the same fashion he did to me. So soon enough, I learned to hate him as much as he hated me, even though I loved him. So I gave my everything. I wanted to answer the boy's feelings with my own soon. Soon, he became my whole world. I existed solely to beat him. I existed solely to take things away from him. And for a time, it lasted. But I was noticing it. I was noticing the fact that he was creeping closer and closer to me. Obviously, taking things away from someone means you also accept things to be taken away from you. In less than a year after graduating from elementary school, he was beating me at running. Even though I was running every night, even though I passed most of my weekend practicing, he beat me as if it was nothing. It was extremely frustrating. I was supposed to be happy about it, wasn't I? I mean, wasn't it exactly what I wanted for him? Yet, he became popular, the ace of the basketball team. He was so special. I'm sure he didn't even notice it himself. I was so jealous. But at least I still had something. He was still just a sports person while I was also good at school. Surely he wouldn't be able to take this away from me. But then, he quit basketball. Why? I loved looking at him play so much. Then I realized he was coming for that too. He was coming to take this away from me too. But if he takes it away from me, for what reason will he keep on looking at me like he's doing right now? There's none. The moment he takes this away, I will have nothing left to show for myself. This thing that we have together, this rivalry, will no longer exist. I did all I could. I existed solely to beat him after all. That's exactly what I was trying to do. But there was no way I would actually win. If he sets himself to do something, he will succeed without a shred of doubt. I foresaw my demise long before it arrived. So, before it happened, I tried to shake him off a little. We were in high school by that time, and lots of boys would confess to me. I decided to accept one of them, though I had no interest. I wanted to see if it would affect him, because if it did, it means I would still have something. But it didn't. At first, I thought it did, but when he approached me, it was for a completely different reason. It was because he beat me in the midterms. He probably didn't want to accept it easily, but he did, and I completely given up at that point. He didn't even look at me as a woman. He saw me as a wall to escalate, so I did what was the easiest thing to do. I quit school before the next exams to make sure he never takes it completely away from me, before he could escalate the wall. Since he thought the other ones didn't count, I will always be the best out of the both of us if I retire now. Or so went my flawed logic. You see, I didn't lie about the fact that my father had a lot of money, but I did lie about the fact that he lost it all. So, not going to school wasn't such a big deal either way. I could become whatever I wanted, but I didn't want to become anything. I kept on looking at the boy from afar. He had graduated and now was a college student. If I hadn't given up, I would have been right next to him, but obviously, I wasn't. I had given up in order to fulfill the purpose of my existence. And that purpose, it was still not completed yet, because I existed solely to take things away from him. It was fairly easy to approach his friend, and the moment I explained my interest in seeing him again, he accepted quite readily. The night went on perfectly as I anticipated. Soon enough, I was alone with the boy. He had those eyes. Those same eyes he always had. Sad eyes. I tried the best I could to appeal to him, looking at him mischievously, touching him whenever I could, even tripping for that very purpose. As expected, he finally reacted to it. He was a man, after all. I almost had him. Almost. But he refused me still. I had no idea why. Why was I not to his liking? Maybe it's because he still hated me. Maybe it's because I looked too pure, because I didn't look like a woman still. For the next 2 years, I tried multiple times over to approach him from the excuse of it being a coincidence and whatnots, but every time he would run away from me, or completely ignore me. Even if I changed the things I wore, or the way I walked, he never looked at me. I was nothing to his eyes. I almost gave up. Then I noticed that sometimes he would get out of his way to go to a certain bar to meet with one of his clients, a hostess bar. Instantly, I had the idea. Why not? I knew he sometimes came on a Thursday, so as long as I am able to work on that day, I'll eventually be able to meet him, and he would no longer be stopped by his guilty conscience, seeing that I'm a hostess of all things. He would surely give in with enough appeal. I wanted him to look at me as a woman. I wanted him to want me. I wanted him to suffer like he made me. So I started working at the bar only on Thursday, in wait for him, and contrary to some belief, I could choose if I wanted to lay with a client or not. On the third week, he finally came. I noticed him right away, and sure enough, I made sure to serve him. I played with my hair, teased him, and smiled brightly whenever I could. He finally cracked, and after that night, I had him. From then on, it was a piece of cake. He was so gentle. Too gentle. That was his downfall. I created a story to go along with the fact that I'm a prostitute in order to stir up compassion from him, and on our 7th meeting, I even beat my own self up to make him react irrationally. That's right. Since the very beginning, it was all my fault. I manipulated him. I played with him and planned this whole ordeal. I'm so disgusting. Then he brought me to Las Vegas. Every time he would disappear for 1 minute or two, I would start up a conversation with complete strangers. All of this to make him jealous, and it worked more often than not. Then I even dropped a business card on the floor, a fake business card, and he was pissed. He shouted at me and drank himself to sleep. And while he slept, I hit my head on one of the walls, just so he could think he's done it himself. And just now he said to me, he said that he loved me. I made him love me. A gentle boy, and I exist solely to take things away from him. How horrible I am. Let him wish we had never crossed paths in this world. I took away his job, took away his girlfriend, almost took away his life. Now, let me even take away his love. Oh no. Oh no. I crushed the paper in my hand, frustration, like I've never felt before. The rain has now become frantic. I can no longer control it. I look at her. She's moving, ever so slightly. Jesus Christ. Give me just a moment. But this moment is out of her control because it's the fault of this damn cord. This damn cord which is tied around her neck. There are so many things I need to tell her. So many. But only one comes out of my mouth. You stupid liar! Wow. That ending. I have no words. I really don't. That was emotionally charged. The entire story was. It was a terribly, terribly toxic relationship that ended in just... It's terrible. Suicide is not good. They were both horribly broken. Well, I hope in some way you enjoyed this journey with me. And I hope in some way that we shared something. But remember, people, always, if there's anything troubling you emotionally, physically, or anything along that matters, get help. Get help. There are ways to combat emotions and feelings and thoughts that could charge you to do something that you do not want to have happen. Never. You are not alone. And take this opportunity to be kind to everyone. We are here to bring joy, not pain. And I'll see you in the next video.